in a universe. And we all have the ability to tap into our deepest dreams. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Why do we wait until tomorrow when we could do it today? Step out of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. And I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Bedrock bookkeepers rocket from their home. Bedrock bookkeepers make it on their own. Bedrock bookkeepers living in the zone. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family.
Magandang araw po sa lahat. Ako si Malana and I working as an online accountant and bookkeeper for almost 2 years. I was part of the batch 2 of the 13-week course for accountants and tax preparers. So that was around August last year. And then I have this client which I got from Upwork. The client has a huge problem on her books. So I think of Bedrock. I think of Joe because I know very well that Joe is really genuine, sincere in helping small business owners in the US. So what I did is I told my client to book a call with Joe so that she can directly communicate with Joe and mention about her business, not only cleaning up her books, but Joe can also help her in organizing her financials. For me, Bedrock Partnership Program, in one word, it's more on learning. Since I am part of the partnership program, so I learn a lot from Joe directly because we are working on the same client. So working with Joe means lots of learnings about US accounting, about US taxation. So it's learning. from August up to now, I continue to learn so many things from Joe because we are working on the same books. So that means that I learn so many practical things from him. So that's actually one of the precious and most valuable thing that I benefit from Bedrock. I can't believe actually that Joe is mentioning to me that, okay, Malona, let us have a call. So I told myself, what? A free call with him? Around 30 minutes, 1 hour, or more than 1 hour. So imagine, saan ka makakita ng US accountant na magbibigay sa'yo ng ganun kahabang oras, tapos ganun ka-valuable yung pinagkukwentuhan nyo, ganun ka-valuable yung tinuturo niya sa'yo. That is the most precious and valuable thing that I learned from Joe. Humility, and at the same time, the learnings that no one can ever get that from me. And you have to get this chance to be partner of Bedrock because not only the monetary amount that we receive from affiliate fees, but also the learnings that we can get being a Bedrock partner. So that is my message to all the online accountants and bookkeepers or students of Bedrock. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, especially Joe, for an incredible US payroll masterclass. What stood out to me wasn't just a technical know how, but Joe's real life insights and advice. It's been both motivating and inspiring, truly a game changer for me. His experiences actually brought the lessons to life, making the complex seem simple. So, cheers to what we've learned and to where we're headed, armed with knowledge and inspiration. Thank you.
I'm so happy. I'm grateful to be part of this masterclass. I'm grateful for the Bedrock team and especially to Joe for supporting us Filipinos to undergo this kind of training and giving us this opportunity. This is a this is a big deal for me because I'm already I'm employed for how many years already, and I want to pursue what my passion is. And doing this, I try to make this payroll as great niche for me, and to discover this great opportunity, also explore. Thank you so much, Bedrock, and I know this is a lifetime support from you. Thank you so much, Joe.
I've enrolled in tax preparation before, so I was there at the second jump start, and I think Joe and the Bedrock team, I have learned a lot, and I was recently hired as an email assistant in an accounting firm. So I was the assistant of the owner of the accounting team, and I've encountered payroll questions, and here in the payroll course, the information provided was incredibly helpful. I learned a lot, and I thank everyone for that.
First of all, I am so pleasure to be part of Bedrock. I didn't expect that I would be able to finish it because of the time. That is the most that's the most thing that hinder me to finish everything. But thank you very much for Miss Eileen for helping me to pursue it. And I do believe in Bedrock, I learn more and upscale my knowledge. Although I've been doing accounting since I graduated here in the Philippines, I believe that having learning a new knowledge, especially from other countries, is a big opportunity for me. So I'm doing this not because I would like to earn more. presently I am comfortable already, and but I know I know that if I learn something, I will gain more.
I'm undergraduate college student, and my course is accountancy. I have frustration because here in the Philippines, when you are not graduate, you don't have chance to work in an accounting firm. So my frustration when I watch the video about the tax agent when I join in a accounting people's group, I said uh I said to myself that I can do it even though I'm not graduate in accounting. I can improve myself po kahit even though po na hindi ako graduate ng accounting here in the Philippines. And I said to myself po na kaya ko to kahit na international yung accounting na pag-aaralan ko. Then when I was in college, kasi I know nung time na yun na hindi ako makakagraduate because of financial. Then tumatak sa isip ko na okay, meron pang pag-asa, not here in the Philippines. But kahit nandito ako sa Philippines, I can work in US, I said to myself. Then, noon, I always checking my online job. Nag-rate ako online job way back 2014 na sa platform na yun. But hindi ako nag-apply kasi I know na I'm not yet skilled. And then, nung sabi ko, I always praying na, Lord, kapag nagka-family ako, okay lang po ba na I can work from home kasi I don't want to raise my child na malayo sa kanya. And then, nung after ko manganak, I got job na tumulong sa akin yung best friend ko nung college na naipasok niya ako sa international accounting din siya, but through her po, tinanggap ako kahit hindi ako graduate. And then, sabi ko, ito na yung start na pwede ko na i-upskill yung sarili ko. And then, I tried din po na mag-apply online job na kasi meron na akong konting confidence na mag-bookkeeping. And then, nagulat ako kasi ang mga nakikita kong testimony sa Facebook na more months or years sila bago sila nakakuha ng client. Then nagulat po ako, nakuha ko months pa lang. And nung time na yun, struggling din po ako pero nakuha ko yung client na yun. Then sobrang thankful ko habang sobrang tinreasure ko yung client na yun kahit low rate lang siya kasi gusto ko talaga magkaroon ng experience. Then sabi ko, meron na akong budget to enroll. Akala ko hindi ko siya makakompleto kasi dumating yung year end doon kung saan ako nag-work. Sobrang tight ng schedule. Sobrang hindi ko alam kung yung pagod ko kasi syempre puyatan sa work tapos meron pa tayong training. Yun nga, ko pa rin na makahabol ako sa mga assignments kahit na late na yung mga iba kong submit. Then yun, thankful ako nung last na video call with Miss I, sinabi niya sa akin po na pwede pang makahabol nga yung kay Miss Juliet. Hindi ako nawalan ng pag-asa nung sabi ko makakagraduate din ako dito. Then ayun nga, na nakasama ako sa graduation. Thank you. Thanks Joe for your courses. Sobrang helpful po talaga para sa amin na gusto mag-upskills and sa mga beginners po na katulad po. Thank you very much Joe. And for the team po.
Hi, I joined the Bedrock because of the opportunity and because I'm a nurse and a pharmacist. I really don't have an accounting background. I just took bookkeeping. And then when I saw that Bedrock is offering to become a tax preparer, I've been searching on another platform where others took their certificate from Bedrock. So I googled it, and then 2 days before the start of the class, I joined immediately without thinking because I want to earn and I want to learn more. And this is an opportunity for me, and I am actually looking forward to learn more from Bedrock. So I will be enrolling into other courses because I also want to be a part of Bedrock.
I just want to express my deepest gratitude to Bedrock team for the knowledge, for the guidance and support you have provided us throughout the payroll course. As someone who has no background in accounting, I really had a hard time, but the way you made the topics accessible and engaging, and you always ensure that we understood the material thoroughly. The knowledge that I've gained from this course is not only theoretical but also practical. I am especially thankful for your patience and encouragement, Joe, which have motivated me to strive for excellence.
This course is not a walk in the park. It needs true dedication and the resolve to finish it and see it through. So I had to muster all courage. And it is a milestone, and I am very proud of what we have accomplished. It's not really easy, but you can see that before I thought that I will not be able to do this. I thought this is a very hard work. I thank Joe for opening this opportunity to us Filipinos. All of us will become successful, of course, with God's help, and I congratulate you all also.
I just want to thank you, Joe, and everyone. So thank you so much for the opportunity, the hustle while doing it, the researching, the headache while we plot the Excel file, the Google sheet. It was all worth it, knowing that I got the certification and I also graduated in this batch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the tax course, the upcoming tax course. Yeah, more headaches and students to come. Thank you so much, guys.
One of the things I've learned is to be resourceful and be confident, even if you don't know, research and ask questions. Thank you for Joe and the Bedrock team for really opening this course to us. It's a great opportunity for us to learn and get like a hands-on experience to do payroll tasks in a US setting.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Maganda Umaga. How's that, Liz? Am I getting better? I'm getting a little more comfortable. So, first off, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I have a couple of things I want to share with you that are pretty important. First, is Coach Yan Yan here? I see your picture. Are you able to unmute? So I've gotten my first taste of the infamous Philippine weather that I had been hearing about for a long time when I was in the United States, and I kept saying, "Wow, this sounds pretty awful." To have to go through typhoons and earthquakes and volcanoes. And then I came here and I actually moved into BGC. And for the first year, I didn't even really see any bad rain. I bought an umbrella and I think I opened it up once. And I kept saying, where is all this bad weather? I think everybody's making it up. And then these typhoons hit. Now I don't think it was one. I think I don't know if it was one or it was just a bunch of them. But yeah, I'm in Cebu right now with my girlfriend, and she said her brother's place is like all we can't go there because it's all mud. It's all mud. And anyway, I think they got off lightly, and a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't. And I asked Marianne if she could unmute herself because she showed some pictures of Batangas uh, yesterday on Facebook. And
I'm here.
you there, Marianne? Hello. Where are you? Are you still in the jungle?
I'm looking for internet because I think 3 days no more electricity and water on jungle. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
looking for a place to stay. So
Really?
yeah, I'm just with my son looking for a place to stay with my cousin.
Okay.
Okay, I just
So,
put myself on hold.
okay. But if you have a link or something to what you were so Marianne is trying to raise some money for the people in her province. Uh or you can just go on Facebook if you're part of Accounting People's, and she has the link there with pictures. It's pretty bad. So yeah, obviously you weren't making it up. And yeah, I think it's one of the things that actually brings the Philippine people closer together. Unfortunately, when there's uh, tragedies, disasters like this, uh, it just it brings people together. And I've seen it happen a number of times now, a number of times. Uh, Not that there's not that the United States is immune, believe me. We in Florida, I have a lot of friends. We have clients there, and they just went through a really bad hurricane. And, you know, I don't think it's going to be getting any better from what all the scientists are saying. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the world that we live in now. Just I just hope everybody is safe, their family. I know Rona, one of our accounting team, she lost power for 30 hours. And Marianne mentioned about not having water. That's that's serious. So, one thing that we can all do is be prepared. Be prepared. And what does that mean? I don't know exactly. Maybe get generators, maybe have water and canned foods uh, available just in case, because uh, I think like what Rona said, what was really scary is they couldn't even go outside. Not only did they lose all their power, they couldn't even go outside. So yeah, I have a newfound respect uh, for the Philippine uh, culture and what you all go through. Uh, the other thing that I want to share with you is more in our control and more practical. And as a CPA, I could tell you that CPAs, tax preparers, are always targeted by hackers. I get emails on a regular basis from the IRS warning us about the latest scams, what people are doing to try to hack into our systems. And And it makes sense. It makes sense because we have a lot of confidential information that criminals want. They want tax ID numbers, they want dates of births, and we have a lot of it. We have to have it to do tax returns. Okay. So they are constantly, and when I say they, it's the world. It's nobody in particular. It's criminals out there that have, unlimited resources, unlimited time. Uh, and some of these, I mean, they're ingenious. It's almost like if they want to get in, they're going to get in. But we could still take steps to limit or make it harder for them. And a couple of weeks ago, I did something, I broke one of the cardinal rules. Okay. I opened an email, I opened a file from somebody I didn't know. And I never, ever do that. Never. Even on my phone, every day. Today, I got three of them just from an arbitrary phone number, you know, just a file, no text, nothing, just the file because they want to get into my cell phone too. So I know I just block them as soon as I get it. It's just it's become a routine. So what this individual did, and I know who did it, okay? It was a web designer that I hired from Online Jobs PH, okay? And I should have known. I should have known because he came from a country that is notorious for hacking. Okay. And he signed up as a web designer for me. He did some work. He was good. And then when it came time for me to pay him, things started getting a little strange. Okay. He asked me for 10 times the amount, 10 times the amount than we agreed to. And it was like, are you serious? I'm like, when I put the job posting on there, I made it clear what the rate was. We met, you agreed to it. And I said, I'm not paying that. We're done. And then he backed off. He said, oh no, okay, we'll do it for what you said. And I said, too late. If that's how you're gonna do business, it's too late. Okay. What he did, and I figured it out. I said it had to be somebody that knew me, okay? Because what he did was he created a phony website, made it look like it was a nice size business. It was an oil drilling business. And to be honest with you, the red flag should have went up because we don't get clients like that. Those are like $100 million businesses. But I went on the website. I said, "Oh, this looks legit." And what the reason why I went there was I got an email from somebody that I didn't know, and he said, "Hey, you still taking on tax clients because because my accountant something happened. My accountant died, and I'm in the middle of throat surgery, so I need somebody to help me ASAP." So he said, "I'll take a look at it." So he sends me, and the other mistake I made. So what I did lose is I didn't follow our own procedures. Okay. The procedure is we set him up with a secure portal. He uploads the documents. Then we review the documents. He skipped all that and just sent me files. So me not thinking, okay, I tried to open the file. And guess what? It didn't open. It just got stuck. And then the red light went off, finally. I said, oh, no, I just got hacked. I went back on the website and lo and behold, when I really looked at it, it wasn't created by an American. There were words that didn't make sense. It wasn't a .com, it was a .org. So what he did was he went out there and actually found a legitimate business and recreated the website only under a different uh, .org instead of .com. I mean, I should have been aware. I mean, I am aware of it. I am aware of it, but he still snuck in. Okay. And what happened was, and all of my access is two-factor authentication. Somehow, and what that means, if you don't know, is if somebody tries to get into my site or one of my social media, it usually sends a text message to my phone or it sends an email to an email address that nobody knows about. Somehow he got into my X account. I got an email from X, is formerly known as Twitter. I got an email from them saying somebody changed my email address. So now I can't even go in there and change my password. And I'm trying to recover the account, but it's not easy. It's not easy to recover an account. Uh, before that, I thought something was up because before that, and Luz knows this, I kept getting emails from Google telling me that there's suspicious activity with several of our email accounts. Okay, but we're protected. We're protected because when Google senses somebody's trying to hack into the email, they tell us. And then last night, I got another email saying that one of our team members, Agnes, there somebody's trying to get into her email. So I had no choice. I had to automatically went into all of our team members' accounts and I reset their passwords. Okay. Now all of this, most of it could have been avoided. Okay. If I hadn't opened up that file, because and I don't know how they do it. That's just one of the ways that they hack in. I opened up the file, it probably opened up a gateway for him to get into my system. Uh, there's not much that we can do when people try to, get your emails, except, have two-factor authorization. And now Ellen's telling me about you can do a authenticator. Okay, so I don't know too much about authenticators. I started using them about 6 months ago, but now I'm gonna probably start using them for everything. Everything. In the United States, identity theft has been a huge problem for ever since the internet. Ever since the internet. And with the IRS, what people do, a lot of the scams out there they try to get people's identities so that they can steal their tax refunds or file bogus returns under that person's social security number and get the refund checks. Okay, so and that's one of the main reasons why the IRS reject a lot of the returns that we file. they reject, and they never did that before COVID. I mean, they would reject returns, but now it's like through the roof. And I'm positive it's because the IRS actually got hacked. You know, the IRS, the US government, they have bigger fish trying to get, countries are trying to get into their system. And they do. That you'll never hear about it. They'll never admit it because then people would really start freaking out. But they got Russia and China and North Korea trying to get into all of their systems. Okay. And I know this because my aunt worked at the IRS for 25 years, and she got called into an office one day, uh, and they said, "Listen, we don't want to alarm you, but and the IRS's system is fragmented. It's not like one whole system. So what her boss told her was, listen, somebody got into our system and your personal information was in there. So just, be on the lookout for people trying to steal your identity. Okay. I don't know if it's such a big problem in the Philippines, but in the US, it's a huge problem. It's a billion, hundreds of billions dollar industry because people what criminals do, they'll go out there and get people's identity and then they'll sell it. They'll sell the information. So, you know, and this is relevant to what we're going to be talking about today because when you become a tax preparer, you have a target on your back. Okay. It's not a good target. It's you just have to be completely aware of what's going on, how they do things, and you have to do your best to protect your client's info. One thing we started when I started Bedrock, because I used to be really sloppy, to be honest with you. Okay, I didn't have a team. We didn't have a lot of clients. We weren't international. And I allowed clients to just email me information. And then once I started Bedrock, I said, if I want to have a big international business, we got to start instituting policies and procedures to protect our clients' info. I can't be running this like a minor league business anymore. So we stopped letting clients email us. And that was a little bit of a battle, to be honest with you, because I've had clients that were emailing me stuff for years, some of them for decades. So Luz, I don't know if you remember Bob. Yeah, some people would just, what do you mean I have to upload it to a point? And some people don't even know how to scan a document. So all of a sudden, I'm making them upload stuff and a lot of people aren't tech savvy. So what we told them was, listen, either you're going to get on a call with us or you're going to find, your grandchild or some teenager in the neighborhood, and they're going to help you with the technology. It's necessary. You can't just have clients' information out there. When somebody emails you a document, it's forever. You can't, you can delete it, but it's still out there. Okay. So today, what we're going to be talking about is, and I've done this before, some of you are probably in the webinar, so I apologize if it's, your second go around, but we're going to be talking about becoming a CPA. And last night, if you don't know about this, every Friday I've been interviewing a former student. And last night, what was the woman's name? Nelsie. Last night I interviewed Nelsie, and I just want to use this as an example. Uh, really nice woman. Uh, she had her story is similar to a lot of people. She had a regular brick and mortar job. She was an accounting assistant, and then COVID hit, and she had to work from home. Before that, she didn't know that people could actually work from home, and she liked it. She liked working from home because at the time I think she had two children. Now she has three. She has a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and now a 1-year-old. So she liked working from home. She went and got a position with a construction company working from home. That was I think right after COVID. Then she found us through accounting people's Facebook group, and she said because she has experience doing taxes for Philippine businesses and individuals. So when she saw she could learn how to do US taxes, she signed up for a 5-week course. Okay, she graduated, and for the last year, she's been working with a California-based CPA firm doing individual and corporate tax returns. And I bring this up because you know, I don't know, it's at some point we need to go out and do a survey because she's the poster child for what we're trying to do. Not trying, but what we're doing. Taking people that only a few years ago didn't even know that you could work from home. And now she's free. You know, that word free is in freelancer. Okay, and then I believe that there's a reason for that. Okay, she can be at home with her children. Now, I don't know if they have the same kind of like flex time that we have at Bedrock, but just the fact that you could be at home with your children and not have to worry, hey, if something happens, if they're at school, what do I do? I got to leave my job. Uh, or if you have to take them to for a doctor's appointment or something's going on at school, it's pretty nice to be able to be at home with your children or to even be there when they come home. You know, when I was growing up, I was what they call a latchkey kid. Okay. My family worked. I would come home from school and there would be nobody home. That was normal back then. And I would go home, uh, watch cartoons, do whatever little kids do, and wait for my family to come home from work. You don't have to do that anymore. That that's history. Okay. Not only is it history, you could make more money now from home than you could ever make in a regular job. And I'm not just saying that. And the reason is you have unlimited opportunities before, and this is what it was like for me when I had a job, I had to travel. So I was limited to the opportunities where I could physically commute to. And sometimes that commute was 2 hours, not an easy commute. Give me 1 second. I gotta allow my girlfriend in. Sorry about that. I'm in a hotel and she doesn't have a card. Uh, so I was limited geographically. And then when I started my first business, again, you can only service clients that could either get to you or you could get to them. There wasn't remote work. Once in a while, you would get a client that would mail you in their stuff, and that only happened like if you had them as a client and then they moved. But in today's world, you could get clients or work for companies literally halfway around the world. And now, if you become, I'm going to start the slideshow, and it's not really that long, but we're going to talk about, and I'm at a real disadvantage here because I'm on my laptop. So let me close these windows. So Luz, I need your help. If anybody has any questions, you could put them in the chat. And let me see. Okay, I'm not going to open this up. Yeah, let me see how I could do this. Okay. All right, you could see this, I hope, right? Okay, so we're going to be talking about the benefits of becoming a CPA. We do have a short course. I think it's only 3 nights where we're going to do a deep dive into all of this. We were going to start it last night, but I decided that we postponed it for 2 weeks to give more people a chance to sign up for it. It's not expensive. It's only $27. And we provide a lot of info, basically everything you're going to need to know on how to apply, where to apply, what the best states to apply to, and basically, spoon feed you all along the way. We want you to not only apply, but we want to see people become US CPAs, just like Nelsie became a tax preparer. Okay. When we started doing the courses, I had no idea how many people were gonna follow through. And that's why when I interviewed Nelsie last night, but oh my God, this is exactly why we do this. But I don't know if she realized this. I mean, I tried to make her aware. She's just at the beginning. She's just at the I mean, she took a big step getting a position with a US firm, and now she's getting one thing that you can't buy, you can't take in a course, you can't get experience unless you get experience. Does that make sense? You got to actually be in the trenches. You got to be working with individuals and clients. And then one day, and I told her this, I said, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to say, you know what? I think I can handle my own clients. Or somebody's going to come to her and force her hand. They're going to say, Nelsie, I need somebody to do my taxes. Can you help me out? And then what she's going to have to do, because you can't just do somebody's taxes, you have to get a P10, which I just got an email from the IRS. A P10 is a preparer tax identification number. And it's one of the ways that the IRS polices us. They want to make sure that I haven't been committed of a crime, that I've filed and paid all my taxes. Uh, they do, it's what they call a suitability test. Okay, and then I got to pay them $31.50 every year. So without that P10, I can't legally prepare returns for a fee. The second thing I need is an EFIN. That's an electronic filing identification number. That's free. Now, up until last August, you had to have a social security number to get an EFIN, which I thought was literally stupid because you didn't have to be a US citizen to become an enrolled agent. But I said, what good is it becoming an enrolled agent if you can't even electronically file tax returns? I think somebody at the IRS must have been reading my mind because they came up with what they call the foreign EFIN. So for the first time since last year, you could be a foreigner, get a P10 and an EFIN. Now all you need is a tax program. We use Drake. And that's what we teach in the 5-week program. I love Drake because you don't have to buy the whole program to start doing returns. What you have to do is you have to buy, I think, 5, they call them pay per return. So you can pay for 5 returns, I think 5 or 10. It's less than $400, okay, to get started. So think about this. For the first time in history, you could start your own US-based tax firm for less than $400, which you should get that back with your first return. We don't do business returns for less than $900. Okay. $900 for clients that are on our monthly retainer package, which we used to call the CFO package, but now I just call it the tax planning package because that's really what it is. Okay. So think about that. Even if you did it for half of that, which is if somebody has a business and they can't afford $500 to do their return, I tell them you shouldn't even be in business then. You got to pay something. It's like buying a car and saying, well, I don't really want the insurance. You don't have a choice. That's the way it should be when somebody opens a business. It should be mandatory that they hire a professional accountant. Larry, my coach, if you don't know Larry Broughton, you should because he's here every month doing a training. Larry tells people, listen, if you can't afford an accountant, then don't start your business. It's as simple as that. Having an accountant should be mandatory. Okay. But it's not. I think it's pretty much mandatory in the Philippines. If you have a business, I don't think you can apply and handle the BIR unless you have an account. In the US, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. It's too easy. It's too easy. And a lot of people wind up getting into trouble because of that. So anyway, a couple of months ago, Marianne sent me an email saying, hey, they're bringing the CPA exam into the Philippines. Do you want to teach this? And I said, no way, because she knows that, we had spent a lot of time and effort putting together the enrolled agent course. And, we put that on the shelf because I don't think that the Philippine people were actually ready to take that leap. It's a big, big time commitment. Not only that, you have to travel to another country to take 3 different exams. So it's, trying to convince people that are just getting used to working from home to jump into becoming an enrolled agent, I think it might be too soon. Maybe 5 years from now, when there's a lot of Philippine people with US tax practices, it'll be a lot less of a jump. But my initial reaction was, no, I'm not going to spend all my time and effort teaching people how to pass the US CPA exam. And it's totally different because it's a different content. I'm not familiar with it. I don't do auditing. It would take a lot of time and effort on my part just to refamiliarize myself with it. But then I started thinking, not only that, Marianne posted it on LinkedIn and got like 12,000 new followers. And I said, oh my God, I think that there's interest in this. And they didn't just put one test location in the Philippines, they put 3. They put 1 in Cebu and 2 in Manila. So that tells me that the US accounting industry is serious. They're serious. I think maybe they finally see what I see, which is the potential talent that they could tap into in the Philippines. So looking at that, I said, you know what? Maybe I was wrong to just dismiss it. And maybe I don't even have to teach the CPA exam because there's a lot of hoops that you got to jump through just to be able to qualify to take the exam. So I started finding out, what exactly do you have to do? And it became clearer and clearer to me. It's not the same as trying to become an enrolled agent. And I'll tell you why. I I am a New York State CPA, meaning I got my license through the New York State Education Department. See, the CPA license isn't a federal license, it's actually a state license. And I needed to have a 4-year accounting degree to qualify to take the exam. Well, when I did my research, I found out that you don't need to have a US accounting degree. You can have a degree from a Philippine university, which means for all of you that have an accounting degree from a Philippine university, probably qualify already. That's the biggest obstacle. Because if you don't have a degree, now you got to spend 4 or 5 years getting a degree. That's the hardest part for people. Okay. So then I went out and I found, well, who's gonna validate if this degree qualifies? So there's organizations and things that, steps that you have to take that we are going to do a deep dive in. Okay. So if you want to do this on your own, all of you can do this on your own. Okay. You could just go out and do the research like I have, find all the links, spend countless hours trying to figure it out yourself, or you could just take the course that we put together and get my backing. I will personally walk you through every step of the way. We're not going to teach you the specific content, but there's a lot of places out there. There's courses and there's free resources and I'm going to show you exactly how you could study and pass the CPA exam for free. I signed up for a course, and after 3 times of actually going to the class, I stopped going. I felt like I didn't need it. They showed me what I needed to learn. And at that time, there was no internet. All I had was the course material that I paid for. And I passed 3 of the 4 parts on my first try. The fourth one, the auditing section, which I didn't pay enough attention to, I had to take twice. Okay. So I will teach you the test taking techniques because there is a science to taking the test. So let's go through this quick slideshow that I have. When you become a US CPA, and even before you even take the test, you can leverage this to get an accounting position because US CPA firms are hungry, some of them desperate to get accountants. There are auditing. So we're a tax firm. I don't do audits, but there's a lot of CPA firms that need to do audits for their clients. American businesses. So I think in the Philippines, to get your tax return done, you need an audited financial report. Luz, am I right? I think that business returns need a CPA to sign off on them. It's not like that in the US. You don't even need a college degree to become an enrolled agent. Okay. But in the US, businesses need audited financial statements for a number of reasons. Number one, if you're a public company, automatically you got to have audited financial reports. And believe it or not all most public companies aren't even big. I've had public companies as clients. I had one public company. I didn't do the audit. I did the financial reports. The auditor is prohibited from actually doing the accounting work, believe it or not. They're not supposed to be involved in the internal mechanisms of the business. So there's millions of US businesses that need audited financial reports. A lot of them are actually public companies. They don't have to be on the New York Stock Exchange or on the NASDAQ. Those are for the biggest companies in the world. But there's a lot of exchanges where the companies are still public and they still need those audited reports. So those CPA firms that are doing that work for those clients, they can't find CPAs to help them do that work. Businesses that get loans from banks and investors. A lot of times they want to see audited financial reports. So these US based companies are looking. So if you just put up there on your LinkedIn profile, hey, I'm a CPA candidate, right away you set yourself apart. You could be a candidate for the next 20 years. I know people, one of my best friends, his father was a CPA, and it took him 15 years. 15 years to pass the CPA exam. Talk about tenacity. Most people would have given up after 5 years. Okay. So just the fact that you're studying to become a CPA increases your marketability tenfold. Now I know when we were doing the enrolled agent course, Marianne put up on her LinkedIn profile enrolled agent trainee. And she made a connection with somebody that I wound up working with, an American enrolled agent that was amazed. She was amazed that a Philippine person was studying for the enrolled agent exam. Not only that, the US CPA designation is known internationally. Okay. So you're not only opening up opportunities in the US, the whole world knows what a US CPA is. And that brings me to this slide. I think that that's pretty significant. Okay. It's a so just to make my point, just the fact that you're studying to become a US CPA holds a lot of weight. Most accountants aren't like me. They're not in the international waters. Okay. When I was a CPA in the US and I started finding out before I started Bedrock, when I started learning about how many sole proprietors there are out there, and I felt like I was in a CPA bubble. And what I mean is all of my information came from other CPAs. And most CPAs, in our world, everybody, if you're in business, is a corporation. We don't deal with sole proprietors because it doesn't make any sense. So when I found out that 26 million businesses were sole proprietors, I was shocked. I was like, how did I miss this? I missed it because the information I was getting was from other US CPAs. So what are the benefits besides what I've just told you? And I think I've covered a lot of it already. International recognition. So let me paint a bigger picture for you. Yes, CPA firms are looking for help, but so are businesses, large US businesses. They have internal audit staffs. They need CPAs to do internal audits. See, my world is limited to small businesses. I love them. That's all I've ever done. I was never interested in working with large companies. But that doesn't mean you don't have to. And when you get a position with a large company, you get a you get a large paycheck, you'll get benefits, you get all kinds of perks. You have what I've been talking about for a long time is Philippine uh, people living in the Philippines gives all of us, including myself, a competitive advantage. Okay. Our prices in Bedrock are a fraction of what US firms have to charge because they're based in the US. Their cost of doing business is a lot higher. That's one of the obstacles that I was able to overcome by hiring Philippine workers. It's a simple fact. It doesn't cost as much to live here as it does in the US, which means we could do work for less money than our accounting counterparts in other parts of the world. Not only that, despite what you may or may not believe, your your grasp of the English language, written and spoken, is far better than the rest of the world. Okay. Uh, Marianne had a gentleman, I forgot what his name was again. He's the owner of the Teo. He's got a huge BPO. I think he's got 4,000 people working for him. And he did a talk with Marianne a couple of weeks ago. And I asked him, I said, why is it, why was it so easy for me to start working with the Philippine people and scale my business when I had been trying for decades with people from India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, who are all technically fine. And what he said was the communication, because Philippine culture has a long history with the American culture, going back to the Second World War. Okay. Your English is the same as American English. When I use a lot of different software and they want to know what language you want to speak. Do you know there's like 5 different English choices? There's UK English. And I said, oh my God, and it's almost like if you could imagine in the Philippines, it's not just Tagalog, right? You have several different languages. So it's like I'm trying to learn Tagalog, and now I find out I'm in Cebu and they speak a whole different dialect. I'm like, no, let me learn, Maganda Umaga. But it's the when so my experience when I hired people from India, they were fine technically, but when I would communicate, the words that I was using didn't mean exactly the same thing to them. I had a web designer once and I said, I need this landing page. It's a number one priority. Okay. 2 weeks later, I said, where's my landing page? And she's like, yeah, I made it a priority. So priority in her mind wasn't the same as it is in my mind. I was like, no, priority means like I need it yesterday. So yeah, that's the competitive advantage, the demand. Okay. This is what's happening. in the US right now. And there's all kinds of statistics, there's proof. What they're finally uh, publicizing is what I've felt for decades. I said there just has to be a shortage of accountants. Why can't I find somebody that's gonna First of all, at the end, I couldn't even find anybody that wanted to work because if you're a CPA or you have experience in the US, you probably have clients. Now, the only way you're going to come and work for a firm is if you don't want to have your own business. Because it's easy if you're in the US and you can do accounting and tax work, it's easy to get clients. Okay. So if you're going to give up that opportunity, you're going to be asking for a lot of money. A lot of money. And the amount of money that workers wanted made it so at one point I said, I'm better off just going and finding a job somewhere. That's how bad it is. And it's getting worse. Since COVID, I've done all kinds of research on how many accountants there are and then how many tax preparers there are. And it goes from, 1.5 million to 700,000. So let's say it was 1.5 million. Since COVID, 300,000 accountants have left the profession. Either they retired or they went into something else. That's like 20% if you go with the high number. 75% of existing accountants, like me, are either at or near retirement age. I'm 64. If I was in the Philippines, I'd be mandatory retirement in about 6 months. So the supply is going down, but meanwhile, the amount of US businesses are going up 3 to 4% a year. When I started Bedrock, there were 3 million businesses. Now there's 33 million. So there's more businesses, less accountants. That means more opportunities for us. If you want to decide, okay, so now I want to be in the accounting area, I see a lot of people learning about Canadian taxes, Australian taxes. I told my coach Larry, I said, if I was a Philippine accountant, I would go with Australia because I don't like working the graveyard shift. Right, Crystal? Who wants to stay up all night when I can be in the same time zone? And he's like, Joe, you want to be in the US market because they have the money. And that's the truth. Even businesses in the US that are broke can get money because the culture in the US is we'll just borrow the money. We'll get credit cards. We'll get a loan from a bank. We'll mortgage our house. Believe me, I've had people do it. I used to help people get loans at one point, and then I stopped because I was like, I'm getting them $100,000 loans and they're just wasting it. And then they would file bankruptcy. I'm like, that's crazy. But that's the American culture. They don't have the money, they'll just borrow it. But the other thing is, look at the numbers. If you take Canada and Australia combined, it's not even 15% of how many businesses there are in the US. So there's no comparison to me. I'm like, I want to fish in the sea where there's fish. My friend John, who taught me a lot about marketing, he loves fishing. And he's like, you want to go where the fish are. Not only you want to go where the fish are, you want to have the right bait. Okay. Your bait is that CPA path. You want to travel? Does anybody like traveling here? You have a CPA license? It's almost like a license to travel. I know that I've ran into people, my girlfriend included. It's not easy to get a US visa. Okay. The United States is actually worried that you might not leave. You have a CPA license, I guarantee you it's going to be a lot easier. Not only that, so I have a client from South Africa. His biggest client was X.com. They were Twitter, but he was an independent contractor. They actually hired him as an employee. He got what they call a green card. To get a green card, you need a US company to sponsor you. So he got a green card. Now he lives in San Francisco. All because he was connected to a US company. Flexibility. Listen, I have a CPA license. I could basically apply for, well, now I can't because now uh, I don't like to say I'm old, I'm right. Uh, the CPA license, so the CPA license is portable. That means, yeah, I have a CPA license in New York, but having a CPA license enables me to work with tax clients all over the world, not just in the US. Okay, we have foreign owned entities. In other words, we have US based entities that are owned by people in the Philippines. We have US based entities by people that live in South Africa, the Netherlands. Okay, so I can represent them before the IRS. Also, if I wanted to be an industry accountant, okay, I could be a healthcare accountant. I can be a construction accountant. You see, CPA bans all industries. You could become, God forbid, a crypto accountant. And the more and more I read about this, it seems like we're going to be an international cryptocurrency. We've been a US based currency for a long time, but my government just likes to spend money. And people internationally are becoming less and less confident in the US currency. So if I were starting out and want to find an expertise, you might want to look at crypto. So personal growth, when you become a CPA, you're required, I'm required every year to take at least 24 CPE credits, continuing professional education. It's actually 40, but if you specialize in an area, you can go to 24. And I hate it. All every year I'm like, oh my God, I got to take those stupid CPE credits. But do you know something? Every time I do it, I'm happy. I'm like, oh my God, I just learned something new. So it's like I fight it because, oh, I don't really need this. And then I find topics. I said, oh, this looks interesting. And every time I do it, I say, why did I fight that? because I just learned something new. Okay. Not only that, if you're like me, and I think a lot of you are, I'm a knowledge junkie. Okay. I like to see what's going on in the industry. I like to see how could I help my clients? What's new? Because I want to be a hero. I want to come to my client and say, hey, I just found out about this new tax law. It's going to save you $3 billion. You want to hear about it? I like helping my clients save money. And it almost forces me into doing it. I have to keep my skills sharp. Okay, so how do you become a CPA? First off, the the test centers are here. I know a lot of you live in provinces, uh, but it's not like you got to get on a plane and go to another country. Yeah, you might have to spend some time in Manila, but if you do, I'll have coffee with you. How's that for an offer? If you're just starting out, you could set your sights on becoming a CPA. Okay, you don't have to have an accounting degree, but you can say, just like I did when I was 17, I said, I want to be a CPA. And if you know my story, I didn't even know that that meant I was going to be an accountant. But what I knew was CPAs were important and they ran businesses. So even if you're not an accountant, but you're looking for a career, I can't think of a better career for somebody to be in that has unlimited opportunities. See, it might be a long journey, but it doesn't mean you're going to be broke because once you start learning how to do US taxes, you don't even need an accounting degree. You don't need a degree to do US taxes. And I can't tell you how many accountants I've met that never actually took the CPA exam. They intended to, so they went into public accounting, but they either didn't get the auditing experience or they were afraid of the test, but they just kept doing taxes. There's no problem with that. So the opportunity is out there, my friends. The opportunity is out there. The only thing stopping you is yourself. Okay. It's not a big investment. It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment. But like I said, if you already have your accounting degree, you got 70% out of the way. Now it's just a matter of filling out forms, paying a few fees, and you're on your way. You have a chance to unlock unlimited opportunities. Okay. You can take control of your future. You know, I talk to Larry about this a lot. I read books about this, and it gives me hope, and it's one of the big reasons why I'm here. See, I grew up poor. My family didn't have a lot of money. And up until the time I was 10 years old, I was a really happy kid. Okay. All I knew was I had a lot of friends, I had a big family. And unfortunately, what I found out was my father had a gambling problem. And when I was 10, we had to start moving. And I didn't understand it because I loved where we lived. I had a lot of friends. And what I learned was we had to move because we were poor. We didn't have money. I had to go live with my grandparents. And that's when I decided, I said, I'm never going to be poor. Poor is bad. And the truth is, it's not bad. Like I didn't have any control over it until I found out that I did have control over it. See, poverty a lot of times is a choice. Larry calls it breaking the pattern of poverty, breaking the chain, because sometimes it's a mindset. And that's what I've learned. You could accept your circumstances, and it doesn't always have to be money. It could be whatever your current situation is. You know, people like to blame, oh, if I was born in this area, if I was born in Manila instead of this place, then I would be better off. And well, whatever your situation is, what I've learned is all you got to do is not accept it and say, I'm going to do something about it. You make a decision. So when I was just 10 years old, my decision was I'm not going to be poor. And the solution was I was going to be in business because business people had money. And my father wasn't in business. He couldn't even hold a job. So when he told me at 17, he said, CPAs run businesses. That's all I needed to know. And I made the decision to become a CPA. I didn't think, oh, now I got to go to college. I got to do this. I got to get 2 years of accounting experience. I just said, I'm going to be a CPA. It was as simple as that. So you, no matter what your circumstances, all you got to do is make a decision. I had I had a member in Jumpstart. And if you remember, we started Jumpstart just doing these free workshops every Saturday. And then we added Monday nights for premium members. And she was upset. She was upset because she has a child. She said, I have a child. I can't make Monday nights. I said, oh, you have a child, and that's going to stop you, right? You don't want this enough. That's what I told her. I said, because let me tell you something about having a child. We had a student take our 13-week program, and she had 6 children. 6 children. And she graduated. And that's not an easy course. It's 13 weeks, and you got to do a big project. I said, oh, but I understand you have one child. So don't attend Monday nights. What do you want me to tell you? We're giving you Saturdays for free. Just don't attend. I haven't seen her one Saturday event. And that breaks my heart. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You're going to make an excuse not to do this? People have had bigger obstacles than having a child. Nelsie has 3, and she's doing US taxes. She's doing US taxes. So, you know, if you're in that situation, if money is an issue, uh, even if it's not an issue, okay, maybe you feel like you have more than enough money to live, to take care of your family. Are you free? Are you free? See, my CPA license, once I got it, I remember my mentor who helped me get it, my cousin Vinny. And I'll never forget this. He said, you know, Joe, once you have that license, nobody can ever take it from you. Even if you're not doing accounting, you still have a CPA license, and that means something. So it's up to you. Okay? It's up to you. Now, when we were doing the enrolled agent course, I realized, I said, you know, this is asking people to do a lot. Not only the taking the test, studying, it's going to take years. I wasn't, you know, I didn't hide that. I said, it's going to take years. Okay. This, if you already have your accounting degree, it might take you, depending on how motivated you are, it might take you 2 years between start and actually getting your license. But you don't have to wait to start earning. Okay, like I said, as soon as you put CPA candidate, your earning potential just skyrocketed. So this is the course. This is what there's 5 sections, but we're going to be doing it in 3 sessions. Okay, we're going to talk about what exactly do you need to have to become a CPA, going through the process, preparing for the exam. That's a big one. I'm going to show you exactly how I prepared and passed. Okay. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It's not that complicated. It's a simple formula. It's simple, but it's not easy. Okay. And then what are you going to do once you have that CPA certificate? Because the sky's the limit. You have unlimited opportunities. You can, like I said, you can become a CFO for a company. You could become an auditor for an accounting firm. Okay. The opportunities for CPAs now are better than I've ever seen in my life. See, for me, when I decided to become a CPA, it was all about the money. It was all about, hey, becoming a CPA is going to be my path to becoming rich. Okay. It's a lot bigger and better now. Okay. It's a lot bigger and a lot better. And that really makes me excited because if I could help people get that CPA certificate, you know, I can't tell you how rewarding it was last night to hear Nelsie tell me about her accounting job, you know, and the fact that she's able to work from home, because that's why I do this. That's why we do courses. That's why I started Jumpstart, to hear stories like that. To hear stories like, I don't know if we played the testimonial from Annie. Annie told a story. I feel like crying every time I hear it, about she was, you know, working, I think, in guitar away from her family. And she wound up coming home. She was depressed, full of anxiety. She didn't know how she was going to survive. And then she found Marianne and the Counting Peoples, And then she saw that we were doing courses and she took a course and she got a job making more than what she was making in guitar. That's why I do this. Okay. So if you want more information, book a call with me. Just go to timewithjoe.com. If you have questions, uh, I'm here for you. All right. So thank you all for showing up today and for staying. God bless. And does anybody have any questions? I don't see any questions in the chat. You're welcome, Deck, again. You know this. I want to see you in the CPA exam. So you're welcome, Luz. Thank you also. Who do we have here? Does anybody want to volunteer to close us out with a prayer? We don't have any volunteers, and I'll do it. Give me 1 minute. Hey, Juliet, I see you there. And okay, if you're here, if you could turn on your cameras, I would appreciate it, just so that I know that you're not all AIs. Yeah, fix your hair, Liz. How do I look? Am I okay? All right, so thank you, Father, for this time today. I pray that we are making the connections with the people that need them, and I thank you for all of these opportunities. Uh, Thank you for keeping us all safe, and that's my prayer to you. Just thank you in Jesus' name, amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Like I said, connect with me if you have any questions. If not, I hope to see you all at the opening CPA course. Thank you. I like your shirt, Liz. Jumpstart. All right, have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Joe.